throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here comes Grant on the return. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Dolphin football. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37.
Shit. Regular. Watch out.
The former Purdue Boilermaker, Raheem Mostert, and a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. This is Mostert. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
57. 180. Regular.
They're not ready for this. They still playing 22 jet bombers.
Hey, color. 52 and 56.
Tighten up.
Hey, 5-0.
Fitzpatrick on 3rd and 2. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. And not a good... There, his first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Counting down. Corner 1.
Just like that. Begin.
Now a first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Here we go. Undercrunch, undercrunch, undercrunch. Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3. Joker, 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 joker.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And this will be a long field goal if the skies were clear. But here in the rain and the elements, they'll go for it on 4th. They'll try and run for it. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. And defensively, they were ready for that, a full-on blitz on 4th down, and they stop them short of the marker.
Oh, and someone's got to feel really good about that, and that's the defensive coordinator. He dialed up a great run blitz defense, and they hit it just right. Stack that thing up. They're going to feel awesome going to the bench after that big play.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves, maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. And some room to maneuver. 23 yards the pickup there.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Grant. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Mostert. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And the return will stop right around the 25. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. And now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Brown. And he'll find Hall. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His first NFL reception goes for 6 as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now Mostert. Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. But you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And that will be incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Here's Thomas. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
And that one results in 35 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a give right side. Muhammad. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now a give right side. Muhammad. And he'll get this down close to a 1st down at about the Dolphins' 24.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Third and 2. Here's Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed. And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
Now from back at the 9 after that last play, this is 3rd and goal. Here's Jackson to throw. Steps away to his left. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Credit the sack to the safety, Rashad Jones.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so they can throw the football.
Tucker named the league's all-pro kicker for the 3rd time in 2018.
Go ahead and admit it. The only time that you get excited about Justin Tucker kicking is when he actually misses.
It's
and
rare.
excited is not the right word. Surprise is more what we're talking about. 90.1% coming into 2019. He's incredible.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go! First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it?
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first. Baltimore was the most run-heavy team in the league last year after Lamar Jackson took over as a starter. And you think about Mark Ingram, he goes from a situation where he was sharing time with Kamara in New Orleans. Now he figures to be the top guy in the Baltimore backfield, although I guess you could say he's kind of splitting time with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson. But a great veteran presence Mark Ingram is behind Jackson. Ingram now in his 9th NFL season.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. from the gun, Jackson. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Third and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Returnable for Grant. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Kill!
Throwing again on second down. Fitzpatrick. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Fitzpatrick. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. Well, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll try and run with Balaj. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. They go play action here on 1st down. The 20. On the crossing route, complete. It's Grant. They'll get 34 yards there. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 16-yard line.
35. Hey, Foxtrot. Go ahead.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. They'll run here with Balaj. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. So on 4th down, Dolphin kicker Jason Sanders comes on. Sanders' kick is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. So we're at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. An NFL update, second quarter now in Jacksonville. And the Chiefs have jumped out to an early lead in their ball game. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Again, they'll run it with Mostert. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Double dog, that's the way. Check. Lucky.
Regular.
Here's Mostert. Matt Judon there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
Left, left. Wait.
He's coming.
Wait.
He's coming. Double up.
Under 10. Under 10. 10.
Check.
Recon, 132 fighter. Strong.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Raheem Mostert, 47 yards. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And we are even at 10 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They had the interception on the last drive, which led to the tying touchdown. So 10-10 the score as they begin 1st and 10. They try and run on first down, but to no avail. Tackle for a 2-yard loss in the backfield. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Slam. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Pick the edge.
Out to Roberts here on the quick pass. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. To throw is Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
32-yard line.
Mike, check.
Whip.
52 and 56.
They run it with Balaj. And he'll get this up to about the 40.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
That's what I do.
Again, it's Balaj. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
There's a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
And to give this time to the tailback. Pernell McPhee in there on the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check.
Kill.
Check out route.
Feel it.
Check 26. Check.
Hey, team 6. Team 6. Topper.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
They'll try to throw here. Fitzpatrick. Now Fitzpatrick hit. It's out. He lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. So now after the sack, 3rd and long, and Fitzpatrick and company a little work to do.
Strong.
Hey, Haywood.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter with the score all tied.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 15.
You just watch 88 over there. Just watch 88.
Y'all not ready.
Kill. Turn up. Kill. Turn up. Showing up.
Hey, Chip.
Here's Fitzpatrick. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Returnable for Thomas.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it up, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Just week 1, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it. This is Muhammad. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
You must be getting tired of seeing me. Shit. Watch out.
And an alley to run. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 67 yards. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Jakeem Grant, 70 yards, as they can now even this game here in the 4th quarter with the extra point. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good, and we are tied here in the 4th quarter. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A big play that time for the Ravens. 52 yards. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. He'll get it inside the red zone, but only for a couple down to the 19. They had the huge play last time. Here it is a much smaller gain of 2. Ingram again. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
And it's 6 points for the Baltimore Ravens.
Defensively by now, you know his ability. You know he has it in him to take off and run.
Yeah, because we've already seen examples in this contest that he can run the football.
I think they're going to examine different ways to rush him now. Are they going to do it with different lanes? Are they going to use a spy? But they have to come up with options because right now, he's hurting them.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Hey, 5-0, 5-0, 5-0. PPP. Hey, exit.
You go tight. You got tight. You got tight.
Fitzpatrick. Flood. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. And when a free safety goes like he did there, he better be sure he's going to be able to make a play.
Oh, there's no doubt about it, because I have a feeling that the defensive coordinator and head coach are on the sideline screaming, no, no, no. Good play.
Yeah, good job, buddy. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. Now on second and 16, Fitzpatrick stepping up. He's going to keep it. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Fitzpatrick to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick. And the possession is theirs at their own 43-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And this one now not quite over yet. Still 2 timeouts remaining defensively. And, boy, having that third timeout would have really helped here.
Another example.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down.
Come on, Locke. We better not. Check three, check three.
Now a give, right side. Muhammad, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Yeah, the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop him on third down.
Back to you.
Here's Jackson. And that's going to be intercepted by the Pro Bowler Xavier Howard. There he goes left side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six and a Dolphins touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick six. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
A very important extra point there, up and good. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the fourth. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away. So they hit the ball before it went 10 yards. I know that's tough, but you got to stay disciplined.
It is difficult because you're so eager to go get the football. It's that type of a play, but you're exactly right. Have to have the discipline to let it go 10 first.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Jackson to throw. Got a man. It's Brown. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Well, they have had no answer for this connection all night long.
Yeah, you just have to think in a 2-minute situation, that's got to be a concentration lapse. You know they're going to go back to him with the game that he's been having.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So it's up now to one of the most accurate kickers in NFL history, Justin Tucker. Footing obviously an issue in the driving rain. This one for the win. And his kick is good. Despite the rainstorm, a good snap, a good hold, and the kick went through. And joy will reign in the Inner Harbor as the Ravens have won it. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Baltimore, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.